The word functional fitness gets thrown around so much it's basically lost all meaning at this point. It's slapped on everything from a Bosu ball squat to someone flipping a tire in a parking lot. The fitness industry loves buzzwords, and functional has become a catch all phrase to make training sound smarter, cooler, or more relevant to real life. But there's a problem with this. What people are calling functional fitness is usually the opposite of what actually makes you strong in the real world. So you see, when most gyms or influencers talk about functional fitness, they're talking about movements that look like they could mimic everyday life. Things like balancing on one leg with a dumbbell overhead, doing endless variations of box jumps, or stringing together complex barbell flows because they look athletic. But that is not how the body or the world actually works. Real life doesn't hand you perfectly staged scenarios. Real life throws chaos at you, heavy, awkward, uneven, unpredictable, and usually at the exact time you don't want to deal with it. So, if we're being honest, most of the functional fitness is training for a fantasy version of life. It's training for a staged obstacle course that doesn't exist. Real world strength training is different. It doesn't care how Instagrammable the movement looks. It doesn't care how many gadgets or gimmicks you use. It comes down to a much simpler, much harder truth. Can you move your body and heavy objects with control, endurance, and resilience under stress and without breaking? That's it. Now let's talk about what functional fitness gets wrong. Number one, functional fitness confuses balance with usefulness. Standing on a Bosu ball while doing a shoulder press might light up your core, it might look impressive, but when was the last time life demanded you stand on a wobbly half ball while hoisting something overhead? Real life doesn't test you with circus tricks, it tests you with load. Carrying your kid up the stairs when you're dead tired, lifting a piece of furniture through a doorway at a weird angle, holding something heavy for a long time while your grip burns. That's balance too, just not the kind Instagram likes. In the real world, balance is not a parlor trick. It's the ability to stay stable under load, while fatigued and while moving in unpredictable patterns. That comes from a strong trunk, solid grip, and durable legs, not standing on toys. Number two, functional fitness overcomplicates the simple. Life doesn't ask you to do a clean squat or overhead press in a single flowing motion for time. Life asks you to pick something up, move it, and sometimes put it down awkwardly. Real strength comes from training the basics so they're bulletproof: squats, deadlifts, presses, pulls, carries. Then variations that force you in positions with sandbags, odd objects, and uneven loads. And that's where the carryover happens. People chase complex combinations because they're bored, not because it makes them more capable. Complexity is sexy, simplicity is effective. Number three, functional fitness is obsessed with looking athletic instead of being useful. There's this constant pressure in the fitness world to look like an athlete, not to be one. Functional training often turns into a circus of high jumps, flashy movements, and fast transitions. But athleticism without durability is worthless. If you can box jump 40 inches but your back gives out at carrying groceries up the stairs, your training has failed you. If you can do a kippy and pull ups but you can't climb over a fence without wrecking your shoulder, your training is useless. Real world strength doesn't care how you look, it only cares about whether you can actually handle the demand. Number four, functional fitness ignores endurance. This is another massive hole. Endurance. You see it all the time. People training for quick bursts, fast circuits, short time domains. But strength without staying power doesn't hold up outside the gym. Try moving a couch up 3 flights of stairs. Try hiking with a pack for 6 hours. Try doing manual labor all day. Real world strength isn't just about a single rep or a sexy rep. It's about repeated effort over a duration of long periods. It's strength plus conditioning plus grit. Functional fitness often skips that third ingredient, and that's why it fails when tested many times. Fifth and final, functional fitness avoids the ugly lifts. Functional fitness programs love those clean, sexy movements, Olympic lifts, fancy variations, bodyweight flows. But life doesn't give you the perfectly knurled barbell. Life gives you awkward, unbalanced, ugly loads. Carrying a sandbag, dragging a sled, hauling a bucket of gravel, or deadlifting a log. Those are ugly lifts. They don't look pretty and they don't make for viral content, but they make you unbreakable. The ugly lifts are what build real world resilience. If your training avoids them, you're not preparing for life. You're just playing gym games. So then what is real world strength? Well, it's very simple. It's strengths that transfers, not to a competition floor, not to a highlight reel, but to the daily grind of living in a body that has to carry you through this world. It's not about whether you can squat 400 pounds in perfect form. It's about whether you can get down to the ground, pick something heavy up, and move it without wrecking yourself. So, real world strength shows up in 5 domains. First one, load tolerance. Can you handle heavy, awkward, and uneven loads without folding? Number two, work capacity. Can you sustain effort over time without gassing out? Number three, can your joints, number three, durability. Can your joints and tendons, tissues take a beating without failing? Number four, adaptability. Can you adjust on the fly when conditions are unpredictable? And then number five, recovery. Can you take a hit, get tired, and still keep moving? That's the stuff that actually matters. That's what's going to separate the show ponies from the workhorse. So then, how do you train for all this? Well, you strip away the gimmicks, you focus on the basics, but you train them in a way that reflects the chaos of reality. First thing you want to do, carries. Farmer's carries, sandbag carries, suitcase carries. Load your hands, load your trunk, and move. The second is pulls and drags. Sled drags, rope pulls, odd object deadlifts. Learn how to move weight that fights back. Pushes and lifts, not just bench presses. Think pushing a sled, pressing a log, lifting things overhead in awkward positions. Then, of course, squats and hinges. These things are still king, but you don't need to get fancy. Load them heavy, load them even uneven, and then train them under fatigue. And the fifth and final one is conditioning under load. Mix your strength with your engine. Rock, push sleds for distance, do carries for time. Train like someone who has to use their strength, not just display it. And here's the key with all of this: train ugly. Not sloppy, not reckless, but ugly. Train with the kind of objects, fatigue, and conditions that force you to adapt. These are going to be your sandbags, your stones, your odd angles, uneven ground. Life is ugly. Your training should prepare you for it. Why does this all matter? Because at the end of the day, strength that does not transfer is just decoration. It might win you likes, it might even win you a medal, but when life kicks you in the teeth, it will not save you. Real world strength is not glamorous, but it's what makes you capable. It's what lets you carry your kid when you're too tired to walk, and what lets you move furniture without calling for help. It's what lets you hike, work, fight, endure, and live without breaking down. Functional fitness has its place. It gets people moving. It introduces variety. It keeps things engaging. But do not confuse it with what actually prepares you for reality. If you want to be strong in the real world, stop training for the highlight reel. Start training for the grind. Because at some point, the barbell, the kettlebell, the Bosu ball, they all stay in the gym. But your body walks out into the real world every damn day. And if it's not ready for that, then all your functional training is just theater.